Okay, let me sit you down in your little rocking chair so I can start talking. Let me tilt you back a bit. You see that better? Okay, this is Margaret Franklin, and I would have done this a lot sooner, but I wanted to make sure I was alone in the house. I do a lot of these sort of things much better when I'm alone. And anyway, last time I was talking to you, I had just been enjoying a nice peaceful evening. I mailed a parcel at the post office and went out for pancakes, and I was enjoying the beautiful snowfall. I came home and I spoke to you guys here, and I was listening to Culture Club on YouTube when my best friend phoned me in absolute hysterics, just crying her eyes out. She had been bullied by some obnoxious teenagers on the TTC. And nobody got up, nobody lifted a finger to help her, not even the fucking driver. And I just felt so horrible. Like, when she's hurting, I'm hurting. I felt like my heart had been ripped out and stomped on, which is how she'd been feeling when we were in New York and I was sick to my stomach and fell twice the next day. Anyway, after I'd gotten off the phone with her, I had this overwhelming desire to draw this two-headed clown here. We open it up to the page. I'm sure there are a multitude of reasons why this image has resonated with me. I know I was watching Culture Club videos, so the first thing you see, and I'll tumble for you, are these yellow shoes. And these hats are like the ones George wore during his heyday. And I kind of feel like my best friend and I, we're so close, it's like we're conjoined twins even though we're miles away. Like, we both feel each other's pain so deeply. And I knew that I have such a backlog of creative projects that it couldn't wait. It just begged to be made into something. Like, I want to make a clown doll one of these days, but right now I am busting my ass trying to finish this by Christmas. There are 2 more panels to go besides this. It's a mural. My friend Lorraine coined the term thread painting for it. There's a dozen panels altogether. The next one will be the penultimate one. So I'm hoping to get that all done by the end of January so I can collect my pay. But seriously, I just loved this image so much that the next day I printed off a copy on the computer and put it in an envelope with a little note for her. I put that letter in the mailbox, and I just kept on walking until I was downtown and had this done, my two-headed clown tattoo. It's funny how it happened too, because anyway, I'm gonna go back off topic again. I was telling you about how Jeanette was really traumatized by these people bullying her on the bus and nobody doing anything. I had a similar incident in 2004 with a bunch of bastards on the GO train. And my own husband was right there with me, and he didn't do anything either. So that was a very painful flashback for me. Anyway, I go and get this tattoo done. I walk in, Bones, Travis, or Bones as he's called. He said that he was feeling really discouraged and bummed out. He'd been having a bad day. Someone had canceled at the last minute, so this really made his day. He really had fun working on this for me. And I hardly felt any pain at all. I was so relaxed. It was just amazing. And I thought, how am I going to break this to my husband? This violates my usual 5-year rule. I have 3 other tattoos prior to that. So this was my first one in March of 2001. And this down here, I don't know if you can see that or not. Skirt keeps flapping in the way. Yeah, Tigger. I got that in October of 2006, just after my first Geneva Autism Symposium. I was manic when I got it, and I went into the hospital only days later. And this is, can you see it? Paint from the Missoula, Montana carousel. I got that the year my mom passed away. I got that on July 25th of 2011. That's my favorite carousel horse on my tours. Looks like the kind that I or some of my other people might design for my carousel project. That's another idea, another story altogether. Anyway, I guess part of the reason my tattoo hurt so little is because I've been in so much pain otherwise through previous events throughout this past year, and my husband says to me, "Oh, I hope you don't get a tattoo every time you get another brilliant idea." Huh? If I did, I'd be covered in pictures. I'd have to start charging admission for people to gawk at me. And you'd think that a couple things over this past year or two would really have put me off. There was a girl in my class at school who showed up wearing one of those IV pumps with the antibiotic because she had gotten an infection from a tattoo that her cousin gave her. I'm familiar with IV pumps. My husband gets cellulitis in his legs, so a couple of times he's had to wear them at home. And now my aunt's been having to wear one for her chemo. She's just been diagnosed with colon cancer, and she's over the worst of that. She's had surgery to remove the tumor and 67 lymph nodes, 4 of which were cancerous. But she still has a dozen rounds of chemo before she's completely out of the woods. So she has to, she's having this done in her own home, having to wear the pump. Her dog's got to spend 3 days in the kennel, otherwise he would probably chew on the line that goes in. That's why we can't have a dog or a cat either, because my husband uses a CPAP machine when he sleeps, and a dog or cat might chew that hose. Anyway, I just thought that I would tell you about this experience, and before I get too overwhelmed and emotional here, I might as well say goodbye and talk to you later. Cheerio!